Salam alaikum, brothers and sisters. I'm just going to hang out here in my live little corner in my room until you guys show up one by one. I know that I've tried to go on live a few other times and I've had a lot of problems with streaming, but I'm using the webcam that YouTube has available and seems to be working okay so far. So for all of you women that are tuning in or will tune in, happy Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day, it's Ramadan, happy Ramadan. 2 special occasions today for a lot of people. So yeah, happy Ramadan. I guess I'm not expecting a whole bunch of people here today because technically, yeah, it's 2 holidays. And honestly, because of the fasting, I really kind of felt like I didn't want to do anything today either. Just kind of lay in bed and play on my computer and look out the window because it's really beautiful and sunny outside today. But actually, I just woke up from a nap. I was laying around being lazy. Hi, thank you. Happy Ramadan to you too. Yeah, fasting makes you tired. I just wanted to just lay in bed all day. I just told my daughter, I just want to lay here, look out the window, sleep. How has your Ramadan been going so far? Do you want to say hi? No. Well, I'm just going to hang out here until other people arrive. Oh, good. I'm glad it's going well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm not even going to try to pronounce all of your names because I'll just do an injustice to the pronunciation, I'm sure. So I'm just going to say, welcome, salam alaikum, happy Ramadan, happy Mother's Day to any women that are coming in. I'm glad everyone is enjoying their Ramadan. I went to our small mosque last night and broke my fast there with the sisters. It was nice. I was the only one upstairs praying. Actually, I did a charity prayer before Maghrib, and then I prayed with the sisters when we were eating. We just took a little break for Maghrib and then prayed there too. So, what sort of things do you eat for iftar? Well, last night we had dates with cream cheese, and we had barbecue chicken with white rice and like a salad, coleslaw, and just pretty much basic things like that. For suhoor, like lentil soup and things like that. Iftar, a lot of rice, chicken, lamb, things like that, salad. We had some basil drink. I like basil drink. What did you eat for iftar out there? Where do you live? Everyone tell me where you're chatting from, because I know I have people from all over the world coming to my site. So tell me where you live and what you are eating for iftar. Oh wow, South Africa. That's so far. Oh my gosh. Well, that's interesting. I've never been out there. One of the things I'd like to do, though, is to do some more traveling. I've always loved to travel, and I don't get much of an opportunity to go long distances. But as probably most of you know, I did get a chance to go out to Saudi Arabia and do Umrah recently, and that was exciting. I loved that. And before that, I went to Turkey. I met a very good friend of mine out in Turkey, and we had a fabulous time. I'd like to get out to Turkey again, actually. It was really nice. And eventually, hoping to do Hajj, but Hajj is just so expensive. And another thing I think about Hajj is going to be very difficult because I know I was so tired even doing Umrah, because Umrah was, we had about I would say probably 3 hours sleep every 24 hours, and it was broken sleep. I actually didn't even realize that people could do that. But for about 10 days, maybe, yeah, was it longer than 10 days? I forget now. It was like 10 to 12 days. Literally only had 2 to 4 hours sleep and it was broken every single day. So an average of 3 hours of sleep. So we'd sleep for a couple hours, get up, sleep for another hour sometime during the day, and get up. Okay, from Iran? You're from Iran? Iran, Persia? Am I reading that right? I'd like to get out there too, actually. That would be nice. I want to see every country in the world. I don't really have an appetite after a long day of fasting, so I don't eat much, just savories. My parents were accepted for Hajj, alhamdulillah. Please make dua for them. Yes, of course. Yeah, I know what you mean. It takes me a little while to start eating again too for iftar. Pretty slow about it. And actually, sometimes I don't even feel like staying up and getting my suhoor, I just kind of want to go back to sleep. But maybe I'll lose a little bit of weight. It might be a good time for dieting. I don't know. I watched a video here, and I think it was 60 Minutes that put it out. Oh no, it was a different company, but they were interviewing a woman, and she was talking about fasting, and she was saying that fasting is not only talked about as being a health benefit and something that all human beings should do in the Quran, but it's also talked about in the Bible quite a few times. And I don't know if they do fasting in other faiths like Buddhism and all of that. They probably do. But it was just kind of really interesting. And I guess she cured a health problem that she had. And she felt it was because she had fasted. She had done regular fasting. So I didn't do any fasting until I became Muslim. And so I've been trying to fast every Ramadan. My first Ramadan was difficult because I kept forgetting. That was the main thing. I kept forgetting. And then I would grab a drink or something, and then I would be like, oh, oops, I shouldn't have done that. I'm supposed to be fasting right now. And so I wasn't in the habit of it. But actually this Ramadan, I haven't had that problem. I've never forgotten. I haven't reached for anything, to put in my mouth and forgot that I was fasting. So that's good. Did anybody want to ask me a particular question or tell me something? We're probably not going to get a lot of people in here today because it is Mother's Day and it is Ramadan, so. Yeah, I think that losing weight is healthy, just not losing too much weight. Just staying at a healthy average for your height? Oh, Iraq. Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, those the Middle Eastern countries in the West, they're not really publicized that much, and it's kind of what do you call it? It's like we don't see things for like go on tourism to Iraq or go on holiday to Iran or places like that, or even, not even Africa actually, that much. But actually, those countries are the Middle Eastern countries are, I think, my favorite. They hold most interest to me, and there was actually some, I forget what they're called. They're travel videos, and the guy's name's Rick. Travel Europe, Rick's Travel Europe or something like that. Well, he went to the Middle Eastern countries and he documented his travels through there. And Iraq and Iran were two of the countries that he visited. And when I watched his videos, which I'm pretty sure they're on YouTube, I really liked to watch the scenery, to see how the people were dressing, the interaction that he did with the people there, the food, all of that. They're really interesting countries, and I hope to be able to visit them. I hope to be able to visit most of the countries at some point or another. I feel really blessed to have been able to be out in Turkey and Saudi Arabia. It was really difficult to get into Saudi Arabia. As a woman, it's pretty hard to travel anywhere in the Middle East, but Saudi Arabia is, I think, one of the most difficult ones. So I feel pretty lucky that I got in there and I was able to do Umrah. So pretty blessed about that. And someone's calling me on my phone. They can call me later. So what do you do out in Africa, and what do you do out in Iraq? What are the things that you do for work, and what are the things that you do for fun? Work and fun, work and fun. I wish I had a chat with audio on it so that people could actually speak with their voices. I don't know why they don't have that in technology yet. It seems like that would be a pretty simple thing. We're still on the old-fashioned type out your chat message app. Well, I can tell you what I do for fun these days. I like to be lazy and just lay in my bed or with my laptop and my phone and just relax and sleep because I'm such a busy person. Busy, busy, busy. Sunday is really the only day I have off, and that, which is today, and that's usually when I do my creating on my laptop, and I like to connect and see what everyone else is doing and read my messages and look at pictures that everybody posts and just rest my body and take a nap and eat food and drive my daughter around all over the place because she's a teenager and she can't drive. So, and today I need to go outside and cut the grass. You know, honestly, I don't know why people have grass. I think grass is a waste of space. And if you're gonna have land outside your home, it should be like edible, like grow edible plants at least so you can use it and you're not wasting the space. Salam. Welcome. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have grass out there in your yards in Iraq and Africa, but we have grass out here in the United States and Canada where we just have these patches of land around our homes that we have to go out and spend time mowing. It's like giving yourself a haircut once every 2 or 3 weeks, giving your whole yard a haircut. It's ridiculous, honestly. It really is. It's a waste of everything. It's a waste of water. It's a waste of space. Salam. I'm glad you got into chat with me today. I know that you've been trying to come in, sister, for a long time, and I've either not been here or I've been having technical problems. But at least I'm on today, and I got in with my web camera, which is just the built-in web camera in my computer because YouTube is not letting people use their iPhones and stream anymore unless they have a lot of subscribers, which I don't understand that, but it is what it is. So I've had a lot of trouble with trying to download software and stuff like that, but I'm here today. Where am I from? I am from Canada, but I live in the United States of America. So half of my family is living in Canada, and half of my family is living in the United States. And so I would go back and forth my whole life. I went to school in both countries. I grew up in both countries. I, for a long time, went back and forth and lived in both countries until I started going to school in the United States, and then I just kind of planted my roots here. But I live pretty close to the Canadian border, so I go up there every now and then to visit my family. Thank you. Hello. Glad you could make it. I'm just chit-chatting about not much of anything. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Ramadan. Thank you. So tell me, what are you doing today? What's your day look like? Or what did you do? Maybe in some parts of the world it's nighttime now. So if you finished your day, what did you do during the day? Well, I don't really, honestly, I don't pay that much attention to the fashion, but what I do is I just kind of collect things that catch my eye that I think are attractive. And then I'll just put them on, whatever I can grab quickest. Usually I don't even really pay that much attention to whatever it is in my closet. I'm a pretty fast dresser, and if I do makeup, I'm pretty fast makeup too. 3 minutes and I'm done. Bang. I don't pay too much attention to it. Oh, Rotterdam? Where's Rotterdam? So welcome. Somebody just told me they're from Rotterdam. Not sure where that is. Is that in Denmark or Norway or someplace like that? Sweden? Oh, Netherlands. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure where that is either. That's a small country, right? What's Netherlands next to? What country is it next to? Oh, okay. So Holland, right? Okay, I've been to Holland. Thank you. May Allah bless you too. Happy Ramadan. Yeah, I was in Holland, but unfortunately, I was only there for under 24 hours because it was a really long layover from one of my flights. And so I just enjoyed the hotel, the airport hotel. I ordered room service and just relaxed and just stayed in my room, and but it was nice. It was nice. I didn't get a chance to look around, but I really liked the people there. The people were really wonderful, and the place just felt really healthy and really clean. And someday I hope to go back there to do like a tour or something like that. And I was telling everyone from the beginning, I'd like to address you by your names, but most of them are foreign names, so I can't pronounce them correctly. So if I tried to, I wouldn't do justice to the pronunciation of your name. So I'm sorry. I'm just going to continue to say Salam Alaikum and welcome. So tell me what your days looked like. What did you, brothers and sisters, do today? Or what are you going to do today? I know some of you are in the middle of the night now, and others maybe it's daytime. Over here it's 3:23 in the afternoon. It's very sunny and warm outside. Actually, I can show you outside my window. I just have a little tiny section of my room I'm using for. There's my window. As you can see, it's pretty sunny. Sunshine. I haven't even been outside today. I usually go out and run around and drive around in my car and do all kinds of things, but today I just felt lazy. I just wanted to lay around. So it's because of the fasting. It makes me tired. Okay. You could read Revelation of specific surah. It would help you understand it easily. My English is not good enough. Hope you get it. And then, yeah, I'm trying to actually go through all of the surahs. And I started with, I think it was Surah 1. Oh, I forget. Let me see. I forget the number of it. It was like 114, I think. Let me check. Yeah, it was Surah 114. So I started out with Surah 114 on my YouTube channel where I was reading it, not for the first time, but for the first time actually trying to interpret it. So I think a lot of times when people are reading some Holy Scripture, they're not actually taking the time to ponder what it could actually mean for them. And I did that too. And I was reading through different parts of the Quran since I became Muslim, and reading the surahs and trying to memorize the different prayers and things like that. And I wasn't actually looking at it carefully and trying to figure out exactly what that meant for me as a human being. So what I've been doing is I haven't been looking at them ahead of time. I've just been going on my YouTube and I'm opening my Quran and I'm reading it, and then as I'm taping it, I'm letting you know my interpretation of it, like what's coming to me, what it means in my mind, like what the thought is that's coming to me after reading it without really thinking about it that much. So I'm trying to just, I don't know how to explain it, but so that's what I'm doing. And right now, I think the last one I did, was 108. So sometime before the end of the week, I'm going to do Surah 107 and Surah 106. Let's see. The next question is, what was your biggest after becoming Muslim? As I personally, in the first year, I had a little problem. I came over. Oh, okay. What was my biggest problem when I reverted to being a Muslim? And I think what I'm hearing you say is you had a problem the first year. You had some problems the first year. I think my biggest problem after reverting was had a few. I Yeah, I think the biggest problem was getting over the anxiety of dressing more appropriately regarding the faith, right? So wearing hijab, wearing more modest clothing, because when you're brought up in an environment where you haven't covered your hair and you are looking at the fashions and you're going into each store and every store is selling the same types of clothing and they're modeling the clothing and everyone walking by you is wearing the same types of clothing, like tight jeans, little t-shirts, little dresses, things like that. Not modest, right? Because I'm in an environment that really doesn't dress like that. Excuse me. I need water, but I can't have any until later. um, so, I think that might have been one of my biggest issues because it caused me to have anxiety, even though I wanted to wear hijab and actually still would love to be able to wear a niqab and full abaya outside. I can't because of the society that I'm in, right? And also because, especially now, we've had a lot more controversy, and the problem is people pay attention to the negative things that they hear about because those are the things that make the stories. Those are the things that pop up on the news. Those are the things that grab people's attention. The news isn't going to cover, oh, the sister was feeding 500 hungry people at the mosque. The news is not going to cover, oh, the two brothers from the mosque went and donated their time to plant a garden for the elderly in their community. They don't cover that, right? So people only hear one side of things, and it's usually related to some sort of mental illness or some sort of war that's going on, right? That is out of normal people's control. So people associate the covering, people associate the dress code and things like that with the negative images that they get fed on the news, in the media, right? On YouTube too. I mean, we have lots of good stuff on the YouTube that teaches people that, people of the Muslim faith are good. They're God-fearing people. They're people that are dedicated to the Lord and they pray and they help others and they're good in their communities. But, you know, like I said, I'm living in a society that this is not a Muslim country. And so it's really hard. It was really hard for me to be able to wear my hijab, start out wearing my hijab every day, going out to the grocery store, walk down the street, all of that. It gave me anxiety, really. I tried to wear a niqab a couple of times, even driving in my car, but I got scared. I thought people, might try to run me off the road or something. Even wearing hijab sometimes when you're out in public is uncomfortable. A lot of people will be really kind to me, they'll come up and they'll say, oh, you look so beautiful and things like that, and they go out of their way to be extra nice. But then you have the others, the ones that have been watching too much news and have not educated themselves on anything, say something rude or give me a bad stare or move away from me and things like that. So let's see. So thank you. So thank you. I try my best, especially being in the society. But honestly, when I was in Turkey, I was so happy because that's a Muslim country, but it was kind of a mixture of Arabs and Europeans. And I could walk down any street or sit in any restaurant and wear my abaya, wear my hijab, and I felt really comfortable. Everyone, well, not everyone, because we had people from all over there, but the majority of the people were dressed like that. And there were mosques everywhere. I could hear the call to prayer all the time. That's actually the biggest thing I miss about Turkey is the call to prayer, because they have so many big, beautiful mosques out there. And it's just amazing because when you hear the call, it just echoes through the entire city. As far as you can see, as far as you can hear, that's just echoing the call to prayer everywhere. Not just the mosque that you're close to, but you can hear it echoing everywhere, all of the mosques. And it's just amazing. Someone said, how long have you been a Muslim? I have been a Muslim for about 4 years now, I believe. Pretty close, maybe to 4 years. Somebody is from London. Welcome. I have been to London. I love London. Something interesting I noticed when I was in London. I used to watch old British movies and things like that, British TV shows, and I used to think to myself, well, the lighting seems a little bit different in these films, and I didn't know why, right? And I thought, it looks just a little different. The lighting, I just noticed it, right? And so when I actually went to visit London, I could see that the lighting from that part of the world was so different from where I am now, which is the United States, that it was very noticeable for me anyway, which was really interesting. Maybe it's, I don't know what causes that, but I found that to be pretty interesting because I had noticed it in all of the TV shows and movies that came from Britain. And then when I actually went to Britain, I noticed it in real life, that the lighting was different in the sky and around me in the environment. It was very strange, but yeah, interesting. Another question. I have to squint because I don't have my glasses on. Let's see. Last question, sister. My wife is also a Dutch revert. She wears hijab but niqab. So is there hadith that says women must wear niqab? I didn't ask any Islamic scholar yet since we became Muslim. To my knowledge, you don't need to wear niqab. I think that's more of a cultural thing. In Saudi Arabia, they wear niqab a lot, and I think a lot of other Muslim countries that are around that area, Afghanistan and places like that, they cover the face there for the most part. Not everyone, but and there's a big debate about that, right? Some people don't like it. Some people don't want to do it, and some men don't even want the women to do it, and it annoys them, right? But yet, on the other hand, some women love to wear niqab, and some men absolutely love it. So I think it's a matter of personal taste, really. I mean, even in Saudi Arabia, it's not part of their mandated dress code. It's more cultural. It would be more of a family thing. So if the men in the family their women had always covered, then they would expect that of their women still now today, right? It wouldn't be an accepted thing for, a wife, a mother, a sister, a daughter of a certain age to go outside of the home without having her face covered. Same with a lot of other, well, not a lot, but a few other Arab countries. Like I said, Afghanistan and places like those. And I'm not an expert on it by any means, but I think, yeah, it's a matter of personal choice, and it's a matter of culture and family. You know, some husbands don't want their wives to be seen by anybody but them because they feel that their wife is special to them. That's a special privilege for them, and their wives are happy to accommodate that. So it just depends, you know. And some women like to have privacy. I like privacy. Let's see, what else does this say? Have you discussed about Islam with your daughter? Please do not let her in the wrong way. My daughter is, she, that's funny. She's trying to figure out exactly what type of religion she wants to follow right now. In fact, I was sitting in her room with her just the other day when she was contemplating this, right? So she has a mind of her own. She does her own research for the things that she's interested in. Uh, so she sees me. She hears me. She's seen me pray. She sees what I wear, and she's dressed like this too, you know, for the videos and things like that. And she's heard me reading Quran and things like that, and we discuss it. We discuss the comparisons between the Quran and the Bible and things like that. And she's interested, but she isn't sure if Islam is the way that she wants to go. And so I don't push it on anybody because honestly, I think it has to be uh, a personal decision, because if you don't want to be in Islam and it's not in your heart and you're not going to, you know, connect with God through Islam, then what's the point, right? So she needs to come to that on her own. I don't preach to her or anything, and I let her explore things. You know, right now she is very interested in scriptures and you know, the whole concept of God and what it actually is, what it means, and all of that. She's trying to figure that out on her own. So she'll ask me for things. She'll ask me to buy her book. She'll ask me to take her places. We'll have conversations, all of that kind of thing, because I've done a lot of studying about religion, because I've always been interested in it. It's been a passion of mine. I was a pretty strong Christian my whole life, but even being strong Christian like that, I was always open to wanting to explore to see what made other religions work. Why were they doing what they were doing? What was in their scriptures, things like that. Now I haven't studied all of them, of course. That's a lot, and some I don't even know. There are many religions in the world, but what I find interesting is that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the last prophet who was the closest to our generation living today. And the fact that his scripture was so protected so that it wouldn't be altered ever, I like that. And it's really interesting to compare some of the stories and things like that and some of the rules that God set for us between the two books. It's kind of like Dr. I think his name is Zakir, starts with a Z, and he does debates. He answers questions and things like that. And he'll do shahada with people when they're wanting to revert to Muslim, revert to Islam. So he knows both books inside and out. So does Mufti Menk. So they can debate it. They can talk about it. They know what they're talking about, and they can argue their points, right? I think it's really interesting to compare the two and find, you know, the differences, right? But the commonalities are really what are most amazing, right? So if you can find the word of God and what he's saying in the Quran, and then find the exact same thing in a couple of other scriptures, that just reinforces what God wants for us as human beings too, right? And it makes for a good debate with other faiths that are not, you know, wanting to think about Islam, right? So you have something that you can say, hey, wait a minute. You're saying that you don't like Islam, but you don't know anything about it. Let me just tell you that Islam, a lot of things in Islam and in the Quran are similar or the same that are in your faith too. So let's talk about that. What does that mean, right? So if the Quran is saying this, and the Bible is saying this, and the Book of Mormon is saying this, and all these other books are saying this, then what does that mean for you? Why would you be against Islam if the words are the same, right? If God is saying this and it's in every scripture, then what's the argument, right? Does that make sense? Let's see, what is the next question? Let's see. Do you know Arabic? Well, I would love to know Arabic. I have a very bad short-term memory for that type of thing, for text and things like that. I don't know why. Because if you give me a fact or an idea or something interesting, or if I learn something that's really important for me or for other people, I can lock it in my brain like nobody's business. But when it comes to memorization of looking at the written word in any language, I just have a real problem holding on to that in my mind. So honestly, I have studied French, and I have tried to study Arabic, and I would like to get back into studying Arabic. And I have a workbook that I use sometimes, and so I can say quite a few basic words in Arabic, and I can read just the tiniest bit of it, but it's not that easy for me. But I think it's a beautiful language. I think it looks beautiful when it's written out. I think it sounds beautiful, especially when somebody's doing the call to prayer or something like that. It's just gorgeous. Excuse me for a second. My alarm clock is going off. Hold on, turn it off. I don't know why that's going off on a Sunday. Check this. I didn't think I turned it on. Maybe I turned it on just for the wrong time. Maybe I was trying to remind myself to go on live. Yeah, so I don't know a lot of Arabic. Another problem that I have is I'm not close to a mosque, and I don't have anyone around me that speaks Arabic. In fact, most of the people that even go to the mosque, the sisters, they don't speak Arabic. They are from Cambodia, Bangladesh. There's one woman from the Ukraine. We have a few Egyptians, so they speak some Arabic, or they speak Arabic, not some Arabic, they speak Arabic. And of course the imam there speaks Arabic, but yeah, I don't get a lot of exposure to it. Does anybody else have a question that they want to ask me? I'm going to have to sign off in a few minutes because I'm taking my daughter over to visit one of her friends. But I do have more uploads. I just haven't put them together and uploaded them yet. I did a little pop quiz interview on some young women to see if they knew what Islam was and Muslims are. And I haven't put that together and posted it yet. And I actually did another hijabi, niqabi, funny tutorial. Well, it turns out funny because me and my daughter, we just, I don't know. Every time we get together to do something, there's a little bit of humor in it. But that was being asked for by a lot of sisters, if we could do another niqab hijab tutorial. So we did that. But I haven't posted that yet either because I need to put it, edit it a little bit and put it together with the title and stuff, and then I'll post it. But It looks like we don't have any other questions. Does anybody have anything else that they want to say to me or ask me before I log off? Once again, happy Ramadan. And happy Mother's Day to all the sisters. Okay. I don't know if you saw my last, if some of you saw my last surah interpretation, but that's on YouTube too. And I actually just posted that like a day or two ago. And I was reading surahs, what was it? Oh, 109 and forget now. See what I mean? I have a bad memory for that type of thing. Anything with numerals or letters on it. Yeah, that's right. I did 109 and 108. So if you want to hear that interpretation, that's on my YouTube channel. So, and then there's probably 2 or 3 other surah readings that I did where I put my interpretation on it. And if you didn't hear my revert story, if you're wondering why I decided to revert to Islam when I was already a Christian and had many friends that were Muslims and a couple Jewish friends, and you know, some of my family is Baha'i, and I think I even have a cousin that's a Buddhist, but you know, I chose Islam as my religion. So you want to hear my revert story? That's on YouTube. That was actually the very first video that I made, because that was the biggest question people kept asking me, and I thought, well, you know what, if people want to know is that big of a interest, I think that should be my first video. So I put my story about why I reverted to Islam. After all that, what is your name? Well, my real name is Christina, and my nickname is Glory. And so you can call me Christina or you can call me Glory, either one. And I see that Muhammad has sent me something in Arabic. I'll squint to see if I can read it. Oh boy, I need my glasses for that. Okay. No, I cannot read that. Does somebody want to translate it for me? Or Muhammad, you could translate it for me? Or not? Okay. Well, I'm going to say goodbye now, brothers and sisters, because I promised my daughter. Oh, it meant, what is my name? Okay, so Christina is my real name. Glory is my nickname. So whichever one sounds better to you, you may use. But yeah, I'm going to say goodbye now because I did promise my daughter that I would take her somewhere and drop her off with her friend to be with her friend at 4 o'clock, and that gives me 9 minutes. So, salam everyone. Thank you for coming. I hope that you enjoy my videos. Don't forget to comment, to give me your suggestions, and sometimes it takes me a while to get to them, to actually do videos by request, but I always have it in the back of my mind, and I do like to accommodate people. So, salam, happy Ramadan, and I will try to be on next Sunday. So, if you want to come back and chat with me next Sunday at 3 o'clock, I will try my best to be here. Inshallah, I will be here, inshallah. Goodbye.